Globalization and Pluralism. The globalization first appears during the 1960s, and it has been used in both popular and academic literature to describe a process, a condition, a system force, and an age. Manfred Strait suggests that rather than using globalization, we use the term globalist to signify a social condition characterized by the existence of global, economic, political, cultural, and environmental interconnections, and flows that make many of the currently existing borders and boundary irrelevant. John R. Scott, a critical introduction identified four redundant concepts of globalization. First, internationalization refers to a growth of transactions and independence between countries. 2. Liberalization. The second common analytical concept is to equate the nation of globalization with the liberalization. 3. Universalization. Describe a process of dispersing various objects and experiences to people at all inhabit parts of the earth. Global means worldwide and everywhere. 4. Westernization. This perspective is commonly interpreted as the colonization or Americanization. These critics make the following more or less specific characterize against globalization. First, globalization destroys the ability to state to regulate their national economics, raise taxes, and spend money to public and good social services. 2. The process of globalization underlines democracy, imposing in its place and rule of uncountable bureaucrats and corporation of markets. 3. Abdication of power by benevolent democratic governments in favor of predatory private corporations and markets. 4. It has caused and in causing mass destitutions and increased inequality within and between nations. 5. It is destroying the livelihood of peasant farmers. 6. Globalizations of depriving the poor of affordable medicines. 7. Also lowering real wages and labor standards. 8. It destroys the environmental, eliminating species and harming animal welfare. 9. It is causing, in these various ways, a global race to the bottom in which low taxes, low regulatory standards. 10. It is permits global financial markets to generate prices that impose heavy costs, particularly on the less advanced economics. 11. It ensures greed as the motive, force or human behavior. 12. It is destroyed a variety of human cultures.
First policy. One contemporary issue in the US is President Donald Trump's American First policy and its occupying question, how could it mean to the world? It includes the construction of a 1,900-mile wall along the Mexican borders, the deportation of all million or more undocumented aliens, US crafting of several multilateral agreements, which include the 2016 Paris Climate Accord, NAFTA, and the nuclear pact with Iran. Carlos P. Garcia. In the Philippines, we can recall the Filipino First policy or a Filipino Muna, which was first introduced and implemented by the administration of former President Carlos B. Garcia. The idea behind the policy was the Filipino-owned business were given priority over its foreign counterparts, and citizens are taught to be nationalistic by patronizing Philippine-made products. Unexpectedly, it has negatively received by foreign businessmen, particularly the Americans, the Chinese, along with their Chinese Filipino counterparts. Discrimination was raised by Chinese Filipinos over its interpretation of who is Filipino. The policy branded it is a political propaganda designed to win support from the masses to secure Garcia re-election as president.
First policy caused the Philippines to fail. The Filipino first policy of activity discouraging foreign direct investor and multinational companies from coming into the Philippines by encouraging them to partner with local Filipino investor who will own the last 60% of the company set up in the Philippines in step in the right direction. Think again. Local Filipino investors are numerous enough to create a mini business that would create and have number of jobs necessary to absorb our country employees. What's very foreign in the rest of the Asian region, starting with Singapore, relied heavily on attracting massive foreign direct investment as a mean of creating a lot of jobs for their people. When Singapore did this, even had countries like China follows suit, Malaysia to under Mahathir bin Muhammad. Everyone else in the region, including Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, and even recently, Myanmar has joined in the aggressive foreign investment attracting game. Only the Philippines remain the love country in which foreign direct investment is seen as being harmful and infringing upon our sovereignty. Filipino would refer to send jobless Filipinos abroad to work in foreign country, working for foreigners. The main difference in the hand these people been working in the Philippines, they would at least be together with their families and loved ones, unlike with their work abroad as OFW and are away from their families and loved ones for years. Oftentimes, ending up with broken family well done Pinoys.
Religion and ethics. For its very nature, the exercise of religion consists before all else in those internal, voluntary, and free acts, whereby man set the course of his life directly toward God. Vatican II. Declaration of Religious Freedom Number 3. The Latin words relied areas its root word meaning to bend or the tie. She expanded by saying that a believer is bounded by the teaching of his or her religion, that he follows a certain cultural system of behaviors and practice rituals, rude world views, ethics, and social organizations that relates its church to an order of existence. She mentioned that the most of the world population is affiliated with the major religions of Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, folk religion. Confucius, 551 to 479 BCE, was born in a time of Chao and brutal severe in China. He observed that the reason why his time were so violent was that people had lost the virtue that had been shown by China's semi-legendary ascent empire in what he considered a peaceful and prosperous golden, golden age, when sovereign ruled with benevolent justice and the people respond with the proper behavior. The key figure in Islam is Muhammad, who was born in Mecca in today's Saudi Arabia in 570 and died in Medina in 632 CE. Primarily because of the influence of Western religion. A good number of people view themselves as being with supernatural destiny, as possessing a life after death, as being immoral. Roman Catholicism has a rich tradition of formally applying its core values to the moral aspect of industrial relation. Among its most important document, Pope Leo XIII, Rerum Novarum, The Condition of Labor 1881, Pope Pius XI, Quadragesimo Anno, The Construction of Social Order 1931, Pope John XXIII, Mater et Magistra, Christianity and Social Progress in 1961, Pope John XXIII, Pacem in Terris, Peace on Earth 1963, Pope Paul 6. Popularum Progressio, The Development of People, 1967. Termed the Golden Rule, this junction represents one of the humankind's highest moral ideas and be found in essence in all great religions of the world. Two shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Leviticus 19 to 18 Judaism. Treat others the way you would have them treat you. These sum up the law and the prophets. Matthew 7 to 12 Christianity. No one of you is a believer until he loves for his brother what he loves for himself. Tradition Islam. Good people proceed while considering that what is the best for others is best for themselves. Hetopadesa Hinduism. Hurt not others with the which pain yourself. Udana Banga 5 to 18 Buddhism.
The challenge of Filinials. What do we mean by generation? Our basic understanding of generation is that it is a group of people born around same time and raised around the same place. But one should not put each generation in a box, so they are powerful clues showing where to begin connecting with and influencing people from different ages. Definitely, there are big differences between the generations, such as manner, way of communication, how how do the system of communication makes more easier by the help of technologies just like cell phones, computers, and others, compared to the system before in the past generation where cell phones are not yet discovered. Instead, they wrote letter to their loved ones and take few months to arrive, and they wait months to get the response. That's how they communicate before. Despite of these differences, we could learn more about the belief and tradition of the past generation. The challenge of Filinials state the differences in every generation. It is central to this understanding that an individual level, everyone is different, but looking at people through generational lens offer useful predictability for those trying to reach or persuade a large cross-section of population.
K trends. But why discuss the millennials and millennials? Coming from the age bracket of 1977 to 1995, I think they are the fastest growing generation of the customers in the marketplace, buying the greatest lifetime values. The millennials, Nikki Natividad writing for the McCann Truth Central assigned a different age bracket for millennials. The generation Y or YOLO generation. As those born between 1981 and 2000s, as was quick to keep that this generation is taking over. The said article mentioned that by the year 2025 are estimated to account for 72% of global workforce. Just like what we asserted that they are fasting growing generation of customers in the marketplace. For natividad means that the attitudes and threats of these self-involved, self-seeking individuals will shape to the various industries in the future. But why makes Filipino millennials unique? Why? To answer such a query, McCann Truth Central McCann World Group Global True Leadership Unit conducted a study for 2016 which they dubbed as the truth about the youth Philippines. The result of this study yielded some interesting threats. 1. On adulthood, thanks to the generational homes and highly collectivist culture, Filipinos are more closely knit to their family.